to take control back when it comes to your money. My goal is to make money topics so simple even a kid can understand. So the trick is to make a new spending plan or budget. We don't really use that word around here, but we have to make a new spending plan with each paycheck. We must give each dollar a job. This is how we take control of our money so our money does not control us. All right, so in order to use the plan by paycheck template, you need to have this first, which I spoke about in my previous video, so check that out after this one. So basically, it's very easy, two parts, the income and expenses. Now, if you get paid just once a month, you can probably get away with just using this template right here, the monthly spending plan template. However, I get paid once a month and I use this template alongside the plan by paycheck template right here, which I'm going to go more into detail about this in this video. But if you get paid multiple times a month, you definitely want to be using these two templates right here. So this is our example here. As you can see, we're getting paid twice a month on the 1st and the 15th, and we're getting paid $3,000 each time. So the main question that we want to ask ourselves each time we get paid is, what do we have to do with this money before we get paid the next time? So let's say today's the 1st and we just got paid. What do I have to do with this money I just got before the 15th? Okay, so let's go to the bills, which is the first column here, the first category. So these bills are all in order, and as you can see, we just have 2 bills that have to be paid before the 15th. So that's all the bills we're responsible for with this paycheck. And a cool little hack is you can actually call the utility company or all the companies that you pay your bills to, and you can tell them what day you'd like to pay. A lot of times they'll let you choose a day. They just want to get paid. And sometimes you can even just go on the website and edit it there as well. So as you can see here, rent is due on the 1st, and it's by far the largest bill that we have. So I made sure to put most of the bills to be paid after the 15th. Just kind of evens it out. I hope that makes sense. So with this first paycheck, I just want to pay the rent and the internet, and that is it, because we want money to be left over for other necessities, right? And then with the second paycheck, we have more wiggle room since we don't have that big $2,000 rent payment to pay most of the other bills, as well as have some money left over for other things. So with that being said, let's go ahead and plan this first paycheck. So all we have to do is copy and paste these 2 bills that are due before the 15th. And we're going to go to this other tab here. And this is the plan by paycheck template. It's very similar to the other one with the 4 categories. And we're just going to paste it here. Also, one thing you want to do is here you can put in how much money we have to work with, which is $3,000. That's how much the paycheck is. And you don't have to put in anything in here. It's going to auto populate by itself. It's just the total of all the bills. This and this should be the same, all right? You're gonna see it go up as we continue to fill in our plan. So here at the bottom, you can see the total of this bill section is just the rent and the internet combined. And going to the next column, we always go from left to right here. We can see that we have $630 left out of the $3,000 to work with. That is how much we have left. So this column is essentials. We'll go back here to the monthly spending plan. And essentials is just gasoline / transport, and then groceries and hygiene products. So for the most part, for gas and groceries, we pay the same thing each week for this. So we're going to take the total that we have allocated. So monthly, we have about $560, and we're just going to divide that by 2 since we're getting paid 2 times a month. If you're getting paid 4 times a month or once each week, then you would divide this by 4. Hopefully that makes sense, y'all. So dividing this by 2, we get 280. So we're just going to copy this here, paste this, and we're going to put 280. And you can get more detailed with this, saying how much exactly you want to go to gas, how much exactly you want to go to groceries, but I just pull them all in one bucket, and that just is more simple for me. All right, so going to the next column, as you can see, we have only $350 left, and that's because the rent payment took most of our money, but that is okay. Since $350 is not that much, we're going to hold off on saving and investing with this paycheck. We'll take care of that with the next paycheck, where we're going to have a lot more leeway since we do not have to pay rent with the other paycheck. So we're just going to go ahead here and copy this, boom, and we're just going to put the remaining 350. And once again, you can definitely allocate it more detailed. Like you can say you only want to spend 50 in activities, 100 eating out, and then 200 for unexpected things, maybe like an oil change, something like that. And as you can see here, we reached our $3,000 mark, which is exactly what we wanted. Every dollar is accounted for, and boom, that is the first paycheck. So using these numbers down here is what we're going to use on our tracking app, and that's going to be the next video, so make sure you subscribe and follow so you can know when I upload it. But this is really helpful just to have everything laid out like this. So after making this, you can just use the app to keep track of your expenses. But I'm a little extra, and I like to, like, let's say I pay the rent, I like to mark it in the app, and I also like to take it off here. Just just because I'm extra, like I said. You can get away with just using the app after you get this all done initially. All right, now let's work on the second and final paycheck for this month. Back to the monthly spending plan. So now we're responsible for everything after the 15th. So that's pretty much all of these bills. We're just gonna go ahead, same thing, copy and paste. And of course, we're gonna write down how much we have to budget, which is 3,000. Okay. And the total is this amount, and this is the amount that we have left. So we have a lot more to play with. So for this category, the essentials category, remember we divided by 2 this total, the gas and groceries, because usually weekly we will pay the same amount. So we're just going to put 280 here. Boom, boom, boom. And now going over to the next category, we have $1,469 left for this column. So we're going to go back to the default spending plan. And this is how much total we have allocated for the month, okay? So remember on the first paycheck plan, we already spent 350 out of this column. So we're just going to go ahead and subtract that. And so we're left with 900 in this category here. So we're going to go ahead and put that here, 900, and you can go ahead and allocate that however you want. And if for whatever reason you did not use the full $350 allocated toward last month's plan, anything that is not spent could be moved over to savings. We do not want to spend it just because we have it. Use that as motivation to get to your savings goals a lot quicker. It's great. So moving on to the last category here, we have $569 left to save and invest. Going to the monthly spending plan. As you can see, that's exactly how much we have allocated for the month. Everything works out really perfectly with this method, guys. So we're just going to go ahead and copy paste everything that's left. Boom. And let's go up. As you can see, we reached our 3,000 goal. Everything is accounted for. Every single time you get paid, y'all, you want to make one of these plans. This is going to assure you that you do not accidentally overspend, and it's going to help you reach your savings goals a lot quicker. Or if even you want to pay debt, this is going to help with that as well. This is exactly why some of us make good money, but we're like, where does it all go? It's because we don't make a plan for it right here. You know, this is where we take our control back. If you want this pay by paycheck template, just comment pay by paycheck down in the comments, and I'll go ahead and send that right over to you, as well as the monthly spending plan. If you don't already have it, just comment monthly spending plan and I'll send that as well. So last thing I want to say is that in the beginning of every single month, you might have to tweak this slightly just because a bill might change. If you keep watching this channel, hopefully you'll find ways to reduce the bills. So you always want to make sure this is flexible. It will change slightly. Some months you might have like an event, a birthday party, something. So you might need to tweak your numbers, which is perfectly fine as long as you just plan for it in the beginning of the month. So let's say you get paid on the 1st and 15th. On the first, you want to tweak this main monthly spending plan and do your first plan by paycheck. And then on the 15th, you want to do the second plan by paycheck. That's pretty much it. Like I said, next comes tracking, which we do throughout the month, which will become second nature and is a complete game changer. So make sure to stay tuned for that. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time. God bless.